My work is spreading all over social media, and it is one of those things that cannot be stopped, like falling in love or falling out of love. Is that right? The reason why it is so popular? Who knows? But I am sure love has something to do with it. The love I have for the art, and the people who love the art, and the art that speaks to the people, and the people that speak to me. No, wait, that's not right. And the love I have for the... and the people who speak to me. Well, that is love. That is special. And that is something too hard to stop. That was an excerpt from a poem written by R.M. Drake, featured in his new book, The Beautiful and Damned. Beautiful and Damned. I tried to buy it the other day, but they only had the original. Poetry, where is it? Come on, where is it? Where is it? Beautiful and Damned, do you have it?
Aisle 15 in the back. It's
Okay.
Fitzgerald.
What the hell is this? Chances are likely that you know someone, probably from high school, who frequently posts hand or typewritten poetry to their Instagram accounts. Perhaps you've even asked yourself, why? The answer is simple. It's trendy. But maybe you've also noticed that none of this poetry is original. You've seen it somewhere before. But where? That's right, your other high school friend's feed not 2 hours earlier. And what does that say in the bottom corner? R.M. Drake. What does this mean? Where did it come from? Does it really need so many hashtags? Who is R.M. Drake? R.M. Drake is an internet poetry phenomenon who became Instagram famous when a Kardashian re-uploaded an excerpt of one of his poems without asking permission. Luckily, Drake brands all of his work with his now iconic insignia. Within weeks of his celebrity recognition, Little Bobby was on his way to becoming the most famous and regrammed poet of all time, with more followers than Maya Angelou, Edgar Allan Poe, Shel Silverstein, and more. He's since self-published a plethora of poetry and short story collections that focus on ambiguous and easily identifiable themes such as love, loss, and loneliness. But how did he achieve this impressive level of success? Why are so many teenage girls fascinated with his cryptic metaphors for love? Let's find out. Something about Robert's breathtakingly simple style has captivated the emotions of millions. Is it because he often addresses a mysterious girl with no original thoughts or discernible qualities? Is he pandering to the lowest common denominator? Yes. But what is he doing differently from so many self-respecting authors who don't have a fraction of his online support? The first thing he does is tease and deceive. He wants to make you believe that the things he posts on his Instagram are just excerpts of a larger work. After all, many of his poems start with conjunctions or prepositions like because, so, and. Here's another poem from Beautiful and Damned, this time in its entirety. And every night she would change herself, stay up late and grow deeper in love. She wanted to love it all, everything and everyone. And how ironic was it, she wanted to save the world who could not remember her name. Let me reiterate, the guy just writes unintelligent poetry. It's not his fault, he's not to blame. We should really put blame on the people who follow him and just eat everything up without thinking. You know why that poem doesn't have a beginning? It's so you can invent one for yourself. The second thing is that he keeps his poems short enough to fit into Instagram's classic square frame. They're easily consumed. And I'm not saying that short poetry is any less of an art than long form, but it is when you don't form a complete thought. Here's an excellent example from a very brief poem from Robert Frost. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Simple but effective. Or one of my favorite poems from my favorite poet, Walt Whitman. Actually, this one's a little long for Instagram, so I'm just going to read an excerpt. When I sitting heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room, how soon unaccountable I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out I wandered off by myself in the mystical moist night air, from time to time, looked up in perfect silence at the stars. And finally, the dude just has a great aesthetic. It is 100, on point, bless. So really all it takes is handmade paper and the Valencia Instagram filter. Something about all of this just doesn't add up. People aren't really that stupid, right? Surely they know they're being used to publicize and share someone else's work for free. Or maybe they're not the problem. Maybe I am. I've decided to dig deeper and truly discover what it all means. But the more I read, the more I researched, the more lost I became. I was so confused, so distraught, so alone. I don't understand. Why doesn't it mean anything? I don't know what to do. The only thing I know how to do is write.